counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. I sadly mistaken, I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself.
Welcome back to CTC. I am your gracious host, Carl, and I'm here to recap week 6. And we had a couple of upsets this week, not only on FanDuel, but also in terms of just the game itself. So before we get into week 6, I would like to first ask if you'd like to leave a comment, subscribe, leave a like. You know what I'm saying? If you like the content on this show and our network, the Refuse to Lose network, started by Mr. Joe Jordan himself. We now have the main show with Joe, Tomo, and Dave. My show, CTC. We have the baseball with Teddy show, with Teddy. And we have fantasy football with Coach Coons. And now added, we have the Joe Jordan show, where he talks about so far his teams, the Kings and the Commanders. So if you like the content on any of those shows, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, go down the rabbit hole, watch a couple shows. I ain't saying watch the whole live stream, watch a couple shows, see if it fits what you like. So there's that. Also, since we had a midweek due to health concerns, not health concerns, I don't want to say it like that, but due to just some minor issues. I already recap the Tuesday games, which was Jack State and Middle Tennessee State and New Mexico State and FIU. So those will not be in this recap, but I still have to recap Wednesday's games, Thursday's games, Friday games, and the whole Saturday from the Thursday episode. So, Wednesday was the Jackson stuff. So I got to recap Thursday and Friday. Wednesday's done. There was no Tuesday. So Wednesday's done. Got to do Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So let's get into it because I'm on the time crunch. My Ravens play the Steelers at 1 o'clock. I'm going to try to get y'all out of here as fast as possible. It's still maybe an hour, but let's get started. So we have the Sam Houston State at Liberty game. I thought Liberty would blow them out, but Sam Houston actually came to play. Final score 16-21. Liberty gets the ball first. It scores a 10-yard touchdown run by Caden Salter, and I thought, here we go. That drive was easy. We about to pile on the points. Then, Sam Houston State answers with a 7-yard fade to Avante Woodard. And I was like, oh, man, I ain't expect the offensive explosion. So then Liberty, Salter then throws an interception, which leads to a 33-yard Sam Houston State field goal. And I was like, oh, okay, here we go. This is how it starts. Then Liberty responds with a 1-yard Quentin Cooley touchdown run. Then the first punt happens in the second quarter, 3-and-out by Sam Houston State. And I thought, okay, Liberty's about to settle in. But then Liberty punts the ball its first time the next drive. Liberty, Caden Sawyer, 51-yard touchdown pass to C.J. Daniels, who had a great game. Sam Houston State, then Keegan Schumacher throws an interception, but it leads to a punt. Sam Houston State punts its first drive of the second half. Liberty punts its first drive of the second half, so they trade punts. Sam Houston State scores a 20-yard touchdown pass to Avante Woodard with the 2-point being no good, and that would be the rest of the scoring for the game. Now, Liberty missed field goals. They missed a 34-yard field goal after a 41-yard crazy catch by C.J. Daniels. He was making crazy catches all game. With 7:18, Liberty misses another 39-yard field goal. These field goals, by the way, were not close. Like, they were close. Like, the distance was close, but the misses were far from close. Liberty holds on to win the game after Kobe Singleton pass breakup on a fade on 4th and goal. I honestly thought that Sam Houston State was going to win it. I just thought Liberty made too many mistakes, made the game too close, and gave Sam Houston State a chance to hang around and win it at the end. And normally teams like that, they capitalized. But Liberty was able to hold, especially Singleton. Singleton was called for a PI earlier in the same drive. But then after that, he stepped up, made a couple big plays, won the game. I hated Liberty's play calling. Not going to lie, Jamie, I did. Like, they stuck to this triple option, but Sam Houston State's speed on defense was all over it throughout the entire game. It broke a couple times, but the amount of times they was running it, Sam Houston State was all over it. CJ Daniels went crazy. Might hear that name later. Sam Houston State shut out Liberty in the second half due to missed field goals as well. Like, that obviously was a key to it. But nonetheless, they didn't score. Like I got it here. Sam Houston State did great against that option. And finally, Avante Woodard was key in the red zone, 2 red zone touchdown catches, the fade ball and the 17-yard touchdown pass. 20-yard touchdown pass. He was just key in the red zone. Didn't have like a great game statistically, but when he was called upon to get in that end zone, he got in. Lastly, I just want to say that Sam Houston State, while still winless, defensively has been really good. Offensively, they need to pick it up. Offense has been letting down this defense for sure. Not finishing drives, not sustaining drives, not getting points. But it's coming, Sam Houston State. I do feel like they won't go winless. They're going to get their win. It's coming. All right, moving on. We have Western Kentucky at Louisiana Tech. Western Kentucky. Man, they started off on fire. Starts the game with Austin Reed. And, well, besides this, I promise you it will make sense because what I'm about to say don't make sense to what I just said. But they start the game with an Austin Reed interception, leads to a 25-yard Tyree Shelton touchdown run. Then Western Kentucky answers with a catch by Malachi Corley and run. He ran the guy smooth over down the sidelines for a 70-yard touchdown run. Then Louisiana Tech turnover on downs, 4th and 3. Jack Turner incomplete pass, which leads to a Western Kentucky 3-and-out. Western Kentucky then scores a 56-yard touchdown run by Marquise Stepp. Louisiana Tech throws a pick. Jack Turner throws an interception, leads to a 1-yard touchdown run by Davion Irvin. Poindexter, second week in a row, he's gotten in the end zone. Western Kentucky then gets a 48-yard touchdown pass to Malachi Corley. Then with 20 seconds left, Western Kentucky scores a 29-yard touchdown pass again to Malachi Corley. So he had the hat trick in the first half. Western Kentucky was up 28-7 in the first half. No, 35-7, excuse me, in the first half. They was up 35-7 in the first half, and that's what I mean by they started this game hot. They went up 35-7, was up 28 at halftime in Louisiana Tech, and I'm thinking this is what I thought. Western Kentucky has too much offense for Louisiana Tech. They're going to go out, they're going to get out on them fast, and they're just going to cruise to the rest of the game. And boy, did Western Kentucky cruise, but not in a good way. Louisiana Tech, 54-yard field goal kick before the half is blocked. Now, with 8:41 left in the third quarter, Jack Turner throws a 19-yard touchdown pass to Kyle Maxwell. Then with 5:11 left in the third quarter, Western Kentucky turnover on downs. They ran the ball to Malachi Corley, who was stopped short on 4th and 2. Leads to a 1-yard touchdown run by Jack Turner, set up by 2 Smoke Harris catches. Smoke Harris had 2 phenomenal catches for big games on that drive. With 3:09 left in the game, Louisiana Tech scores again a 1-yard touchdown Tyree Shelton touchdown run. But with 1:40 left, Jack Turner throws an interception to halt the comeback. Western Kentucky got shut out in the second half. Western Kentucky couldn't get any offense going in the second half. Louisiana Tech had a beat on that offense. I don't know. It's just a tale of two halves. Western Kentucky first half on fires, 5 touchdowns, second half shutout. Louisiana Tech first half, 1 touchdown, was moving the ball a little bit, but Western Kentucky still had control of that game, dominated. But in the second half, they finally figured it out. Smoke Harris got involved. Tyree Shelton, they leaned on him throughout the whole game, which I thought they would. Had a chance to tie it up late. I thought they might even have a chance. If they won the OT, they might have won it with the home crowd, the home momentum. But Western Kentucky catches the pick to seal the deal, wins the game, win 35-28. Way to escape out of there. Way to get out of there. And the name of the game is the win. Moving on to Friday, where we have our first upset by the books. Oklahoma State, I think, finished as 10.5-point dogs. I got them at 11 when I betted on Tuesday, but K-State did not bring their A game. Oklahoma State at home wins it 29-21. K-State gets the ball first, goes 3-and-out punt. Oklahoma State goes down and scores an Ollie Gordon 2-yard touchdown run. Then Will Howard throws a pick to, I think his name is Cam Epps, the freshman who had 2 picks on the game, had a monster game. Young fella's balling. He has 3 picks on the year, so shout out to him. That leads to an Oklahoma State 43-yard field goal. K-State answers with a 1-yard touchdown pass to Ben Sinnott, which was set up by a 74-yard Will Howard run, who through review was overturned. They thought he got in, but through review was overturned. Oklahoma State converts a 4th-and-1 fake punt. Elijah, why am I blanking on his name? Former Michigan State running back. I want to say Elijah Stewart, but I feel like that's wrong. But Elijah Stewart, let me double check that. Because I want to say that's his name, but I just feel like, again, when you feel like you say something is wrong, but it could be right. Why am I blanking on bruh's name? Freaking former MSU running back. Like, how can I forget his name? I'm so sorry, Elijah. Give me 1 second. Elijah Collins. There we go. I'm so sorry, Elijah Collins. Elijah Collins picks it up, first down. But has a 21-yard field goal blocked by K-State. Just knifed in there and blocked it. It leads to a punt. Oklahoma State, after the punt, gets a 34-yard field goal. Then Will Howard throws the pick six to Epps again. Epps, like I said, monster game. 2 picks, ball. Oklahoma State first drive in the second half was a 53-yard field goal. The pick six was right before the half too. Momentum killer. The K-State first drive in the second half is a turnover on downs, 4th and 8. Bad snapping it. Oh, so this is the play. Will Howard, people were, the announcers, including myself, was like, they're not going to go for this, right? Will Howard's going to the line, I guess, calling out protections. And as he's getting to the line, calling out the protections, the ball is hyped. On 4th and 8, they fall on it, but it's 4th down. Turnover. Oklahoma State gets a 31-yard field goal after the fumble. K-State then scores an 11-yard touchdown run by Trayshawn Ward, and the 2-point is good. K-State turnover on downs, 4 for 3. The pass was incomplete in K-State territory, which leads to Oklahoma State 25-yard field goal. K-State gets a 6-yard touchdown run by Will Howard, but the 2-point is no good. And Will Howard, with the game on the line, has a chance to win the game or tie the game down 8 points. Throws his 3rd interception with 3:24 left to Nicholas Martin. Leads to a 3-and-out, but K-State gets one last opportunity. And turnover on downs, 4th and 10. The ball got batted down. Oklahoma State nails out the clock. They win the game. Upset at home against K-State. Cam Epps and Nicholas Martin had monster games for the Oklahoma State defense. I think Will Howard looked atrocious. He looked bad. He looked like Will Howard when Skylar Thompson was there. K-State couldn't consistently establish the run at all. Could not get DJ Giddens going. DJ Giddens had a tough time this game. Oklahoma State receivers created excellent spacing versus defenders. Man, it was one time I was watching the game. Oklahoma State receiver caught, I think it was a quick slant, and it was like 10 yards of separation between him and the DB. Like, bro, these receivers stopped hitches. They was creating so much space. Alan Bowman made plays when called upon. Yeah, I wouldn't say he was necessarily slinging it, but when he was called upon, he made a play. He for sure showed why out of the 3 quarterbacks, he should be the starter. Great win for Oklahoma State. Killed my parlay, but hey, that's gambling. Last game Friday night was a defensive slugfest. I had the under in this game. The under was money from the start. We had Nebraska at Illinois, and I think I picked Illinois to win this game only because I had them in the preseason. But man, boy, was I wrong. Nebraska wins the game 20-7 on the road upset. I mean, due to the books. Again, this is the upset due to the books. Oh no, excuse me. I had Nebraska winning this game. I take that back. I had Nebraska winning, so never mind. Due to the books, this was an upset. Nebraska came in as 3.5-point dogs. But they won outright, so technically upset. Illinois drives down to Nebraska's 1, but a turnover on downs due to a Nebraska goal line stand. Man, Nebraska just kept them out the end zone. Reggie Love had a chance. They tried to push. None of that worked. Nebraska goes down and gets a 31-yard field goal. Then Nebraska converts a 4th and 5 their next drive, which leads to a 1-yard Anthony Grant touchdown run. Then Illinois fumbles ensuing kickoff leads to a Heinrich Harburg 25-yard touchdown run. Then with 1:31 left in the second quarter, Pat Bryant catches a 46-yard touchdown pass. Man, he caught that thing. It was gone. Illinois' 55-yard field goal before the half was no good. It looked on top. It just, I think, slightly short. Nebraska punts its first drive of the second half. Illinois' first drive. Griffin Moore fumbles. Nebraska recovers, leads to a 32-yard field goal. Illinois' next drive was 3-and-out, and the punt was blocked, which leads to a 36-yard field goal being no good. Illinois' turnover on downs, 4th-and-1. Caden Fagan stuffed, leads to a Nebraska fumble, which the Nebraska fumble recovered by Illinois leads to an Illinois punt, which the Illinois punt led to a heartbreak interception to Xavier Scott on 3rd and 14, which then led to another Luke Altmaier, well, not this game, but it was led to a Luke Altmaier interception. He just threw it right to Quentin Newsom. Quentin Newsom almost ran it in for 6. Now, him being stopped short of the goal line, I think at like the 10 or something like that, is key because Nebraska on 2nd and goal, Anthony Grant fumbles the ball, which leads to Illinois recovers. So just sloppy football there. We have like 3-4 possessions of sloppy football. And the Illinois recovery leads to a turnover on downs, a 4-for-2 pass being incomplete. And that's the game. Like I said, the game was sloppy. I think I have here 6 turnovers and 3 missed field goals. The game was a defensive struggle. Nebraska won the battle of field position. Like I said, we have this whole block punt to a fumble, to a turnover on downs, to a fumble, to a punt, to a pick, to a fumble of circumstance here, man. Just bad offense in this game, but this is the game to have bad offense. That's why I thought this would be a defensive slugfest. That's why I bet the under 44.5 and still had 17 points of wiggle room at the end of the game. So, yeah, man, shout out Nebraska for eking out a W. Nasty game, but hey, somebody's got to win it. Now we move on to Saturday, and we have a true upset both on the books and in the rankings. The Red River rivalry. We have Oklahoma at Texas, in the Cotton Bowl. Oklahoma 34, Texas 30. Texas gets the ball first, and Quinn Ewers throws an interception. Leads to a 9-yard touchdown run by Dylan Gabriel. Then Quinn Ewers throws another interception in the red zone, which leads to an Oklahoma punt, but the punt is blocked. And with the blocked punt, Texas recovers the ball in the end zone. I'm sorry, Joe. I'm so sorry. Y'all had it. Texas, I'll get into that later. Then after the punt block recovered for a touchdown, Oklahoma was set up to punt again, but Texas gets a running into the punter, and that leads to a first down, which leads to a 27-yard field goal. After the 27-yard field goal, Texas answers with a 22-yard touchdown pass to Gunnar Helm on 4th-and-1. 4th-and-1 touchdown, but then Oklahoma responds with a 1-yard touchdown run by Tawee Walker. After that, this became a shootout, set by a 39-yard Xavier Worthy catch. Then Oklahoma answers with a 26-yard field goal set up by a 34-yard Jalil Farouk catch. Then Oklahoma, to start the second half, scores a 1-yard touchdown by Tawee Walker. Then Texas, to start the second half, Quinn Ewers fumbles. Oklahoma recovers, but it leads to a 3-and-out punt. Then after the punt, Texas 45-yard field goal set up by Xavier Worthy, another 26-yard catch. Then Oklahoma on 4th-and-1 throws an out to Drake Stoops. It was kind of late. Drake Stoops, I don't know if he caught it, was out of bounds or just caught me. I think that's what happened. I think he caught it, but he was pushed out of bounds. So it was the turnover on downs. Where was I? Okay, after that, leads to Texas going down the field, 1st and goal from the 1, and they run this full house set, and it gets blown up. So I'm like, okay, they're not going to try it again. They come out and goal line again, try to run, I think, to the outside. Jonathan Brooks gets stuffed. 3rd and goal, they go back to the same 1st and goal play. Do not block, I believe, Danny Stutzman, who comes in and blows it up. And then 4th and goal, they run the play that the Patriots ran against Seattle, the little doubles, the little tight doubles to the left. Xavier Worthy was slightly to the left, runs a quick slant, gets blown up. He catches it, but he stops short. Turnover on downs. We'll get to that a little bit later because I didn't like the play calling there either. And I'm pretty sure that's what Joe was talking about. So that leads to a turnover on downs. Then Oklahoma misses a 45-yard field goal, gives Texas new life, still down 7, which that leads to a 29-yard Jonathan Brooks touchdown run set up by an unsportsmanlike conduct. So now the game is tied. Texas gets the ball back, and with 1:17 left, they kick the go-ahead 47-yard field goal. But Oklahoma says that's too much time for me. Dylan Gabriel with all his talented weapons, Drake Stoops, I believe Andrew Anthony got hurt, Nick Anthony, Jalil Farouk. They go down the field and they score the game-winning 3-yard touchdown pass to Nick Anderson with seconds left in the back of the end zone. Drake Stoops had 2 huge catches in that drive. Dylan Gabriel, Oklahoma wins it 34-30. Dylan Gabriel balled out 200 yards passing, 100 yards rushing. Jalil Farouk, Drake Stoops made timely catches. Ewers had 3 costly turnovers, 2 picks, and a fumble. Texas lost the turnover battle, 3 turnovers to 0. And this is what I wanted to talk about. Texas should have won this game. It's no way Texas should be in this game with 3 turnovers to Oklahoma 0, and you had the chance to win it late. You were up late to win it. Texas should have won this game. I don't like Steve Sarkisian's them 4 plays at the goal line. I feel like, okay, cool. You want to run the full house play first down, that's fine. No problem there. Second down, I think you got to run the play action. Oklahoma was selling out. You have no receivers. You went a straight goal line. They were selling out to stop the run. I think a nice little play action pass on second down. While they're selling out, somebody's open. Whether it's a tight end leaked out through the backside, a tight end corner with a tight end flat, that route combination, that should be open for a touchdown. Sarkisian, I think, blew that goal line stand, would have changed the game. But them 3 turnovers, man, that's really what did it too. I think it's a combination of both. I won't strictly put the game on Sarkisian, even though he holds a lot of accountability. But, man, turnovers will kill you. And when you can't force turnovers, when you can't create turnovers, but you are making, like you're yourself, and turn the ball over, it's going to kill you every time. But Texas should have won this game. Should have won this game easily, in my opinion. Moving on. This one makes me smile. We got UMD at Ohio State. Now, I don't like Ohio State, but it's a Maryland fan in these chats, which if you want to know about these chats, become a member. Link in the description. Become a member, join these chats. There's a Maryland fan in these chats who's been a little bit on their high horse. And I told him, y'all haven't played nobody yet, including my Spartans, because of all this drama going on around Michigan State. Y'all haven't played nobody. And we'll get into the game. So, Maryland loses 17-37. Still have yet to beat Ohio State. Ohio State gets the ball first. And from their own 33, I believe, runs a fake punt, which gets blown up. And Maryland gets the ball. Then Maryland, on its first possession, gets a 15-yard touchdown pass to Caden Prather, the West Virginia transfer. He catches it one-handed in the end zone while being interfered with. Just a spectacular play. Spectacular play there. Then after that, UMD turns the ball over on downs, 4th and 1. Billy Edwards Jr. run is stuffed, leads to a punt. Maryland goes up 10-0. Oh, hold up. Appreciate my guy, Joe Jordan. He says, with a $10 dono, CTC, best college show in the world. I know you moved on from the game, but do you think Texas messed up their natty chances? No, I don't think Texas messed up their natty chances. Now, me personally, I didn't have them in the playoff. But no, the way this year is going, somebody else is going to stumble. Somebody's going to fall. We'll get into another team later that I think messed up their natty chances. But Texas still has a chance. Oklahoma, I don't know if they run through their schedule and remain undefeated. Texas is going to be in the Big 12 championship. They win the Big 12 championship. If Georgia, no, I won't say if Georgia stumbles. I think Georgia's in. It's going to take it's not over, but it's going to take them to win the Big 12, and some teams have to lose, whether it's Bama loses again, whether it's Florida stays the 2-win ACC champ, whether it's SC or somebody in that Pac-12 is a 1-win champ, because the Pac-12 really don't get respected like that for some reason. It's not over. It's a shot, but this does not help at all. This does not help. But again, it's up to the committee. So the committee has to, you know what I'm saying? It's up to the committee. But Joe, I appreciate it. I appreciate the $10 dono. You didn't have to do it, but you did choose to do it, and I appreciate you for it. I'm gonna leave it up for a while. Now moving on. So just keep hope alive, though, Joe. Keep hope alive. So moving on. Maryland goes up 10-0 with a field goal. Then Talia throws a 24-yard pick six to Josh Proctor. And I said it, man. Talia can throw. I mean, he will throw turnovers. And he had 2 this game. I just know what I see. So Talia throws the pick six. Then with 1:32 left in the second quarter, Ohio State gets a 36-yard field goal set up by Marvin Harrison Jr., who had 2 catches for 77 yards on that drive. Ties it up, goes at halftime, tied 10-10. UMD before the half did complete a pass, but ran out the clock from what I see. So to start the second half, Talia scores a 9-yard touchdown run, and Maryland is up 17-10. But that's it. No more from Maryland. Start the second half. Ohio State answers with a 4-yard touchdown run of his own. Then Talia throws a pick to Ohio State, which leads to a 24-yard field goal. Ohio State then scores a 44-yard touchdown pass from Cade Stover, set up by Marvin Harrison Jr. again with a 37-yard catch. After he converted, I believe it was like a 2nd and 20 or something like that. There was a 15-yard penalty due to unsportsmanlike conduct, but they already got the first, which backed them up, which made that touchdown catch by Cade Stover 44 yards. Then UMD had a turnover on down, unsportsmanlike conduct play after the turnover on downs, which led to a Ohio State's Marvin Harrison Jr. 17-yard touchdown catch. Marvin Harrison Jr. had an amazing game. Then Ohio State gets a 41-yard field goal and then ends the game after Maryland punt. Maryland had a great first half, just like they did last year. But it's the second half. They can't finish against Ohio State. Ohio State was down in the first half last year, ended up winning by 13. Ohio State was tied in the first half this year, went up 7 in the second half to start, but Ohio State roared back and scored, 27 unanswered points to win by 20. So it's these second halves. Shout out to Ty, most hated in the chats. Shout out Ty Parker with the $1.99 donation. He said, "Do you think Colorado can beat Miami? #Miami trash." So, Ty, to answer your question, I do think that Colorado has a chance against Miami. I think Miami has the better trenches by far. Colorado will rarely go into a game with the trench advantage, but Colorado has athletes. Miami has athletes, and as you can see, Mario Cristobal is prone to mess a game up. I think it's possible for Colorado to beat Miami. I think Miami might win 6 times out of 10, but Colorado has a shot going into that game. I would honestly make Colorado. I think I would make Colorado underdogs going into that game. I think even now, depending on where it is, the spread might be a little different. Like if it's in Miami, it would be higher than it would be in Colorado. But I think I would go into that game making Colorado dogs. But Colorado has a chance for sure winning that game. But you're petty, and I know why you did that. Again, if you want to be in these chats, this is what happens. You run your mouth, and now people are watching you closer. And if you stumble, fall, trip, they are on you. So, but I've basically finished the Maryland game. Well, shout out to Ty again for the donation. You didn't have to do it. And I know you did it for petty reasons, but I still appreciate it. Talia had 2 costly interceptions. Marvin Harrison Jr. was unstoppable. OSU could not get the run game going, just like Ty told me in the chat. But I told him this Maryland defense is physical. They're going to get off blocks. Even their DBs do a great job getting off blocks. They're physical. They attack the football. So I'm not surprised there. And Maryland had 1 touchdown only in each half, and it sucks because you can't only score 1 touchdown and then you throw a touchdown for the other team. Talia threw the pick 6 in the first half, gave Ohio State new life. They ran with it. So That's that one. Maryland now falls to 5-1. They won't be ranked. Ty so petty. Shout out to Ty again for the $1.99 donation. He said, "Do you think Colorado can beat Penn State?" And I'm gonna have to be honest. No. Penn State trenches is too much for Colorado. They were feasting Colorado's backfield. Ty, you are petty. Oh, my fault. Hashtag Miami is trash. I didn't even see that part yet. Ty, you're petty. And this has nothing to do with Dave. So, Dave, if you're watching, please don't take offense. But, man, Ty, you petty. I know you didn't have to donate, but you petty, and I appreciate it, bro. Moving on, we have LSU at Mizzou, and this game was the shootout everybody thought it would be. LSU comes out on top, however, like I thought. Oh, by the way, so I did have Texas winning, they lost. I had Ohio State winning, they lost. And Joe tried to start some stuff with that too. I peeped what you tried to do. And I had LSU beating Mizzou. And LSU won 49-39. LSU starts out with a 3-and-out punt on the road. I'm like, okay, that's not good because this is going to be a shootout. And Mizzou does what I thought it would do. Mizzou goes down and scores an 18-yard touchdown pass to Theo Wease Jr., set up by Luther Burden, 2 catches for 48 yards, and they actually go for 2 and get it. So Mizzou goes up 8-zip. Then LSU answers with the 1-yard Logan Diggs touchdown run, set up by Malik Neighbors, 39-yard catch, and a Jaden 19-yard run. Mizzou then answers with a 21-yard Cody Schrader touchdown run, set up by, again, Luther Burton, 2 catches, 41 yards on the drive. Then Mizzou scores again to go up 22-7, scores a 9-yard touchdown pass to Brett Norfleet, set up by a 23-yard Mookie Cooper catch. LSU only answers with a 48-yard field goal, but then Brady Cook, no picks throughout the first 5 games of the year, throws an interception to Harold Perkins, which leads to a 3-yard Mason Taylor touchdown catch. Got set up by Logan Diggs, 49 rush yards on that drive, so he was key in that drive. Mizzou had a 50-yard field goal to end the half, so it's like 25-17 at halftime. Then Mizzou gets the ball to start, and a 44-yard field goal is blocked to start the second half, which leads to an LSU 29-yard field goal. Then LSU scores a 42-yard touchdown to Brian Thomas, wide open, beat a guy on a post. After Mizzou shanked the punt, then Mizzou answers with a 2-yard Cody Schrader touchdown run. The drive was started by a 52-yard Cody Schrader run on the drive. So Mizzou goes out in front. The LSU misses a 29-yard field goal, which leads to a Mizzou 3-and-out punt. LSU scores a 35-yard run by Jaden Daniels. And the 2-point is good. Mizzou answers with the 1-yard Cody Schrader touchdown run, set up again by Luther Burden with a 42-yard catch. LSU answers with a 29-yard touchdown. You know my boy's going to have to find the end zone. Malik Neighbors, 29-yard touchdown catch. Set up by Jaden Daniels, 31-yard rush. And then Mizzou had a turnover on downs on 4th and 32. Pass was complete and lateral, but it was stopped well short. But it leads to an LSU punt. Now, Mizzou, game on the line. Down, I believe, 3. Brady Cook throws a pick 6 to Major Burns for his second pick of the day and of the season. Mizzou, it's over now. 10 points, little time left. Mizzou's able to drive down with 8 seconds, try to kick a 54-yard field goal, but it is no good. I get the thought process. You kick it, hopefully get an onside kick and go for the Hail Mary. But the kick is no good. LSU runs out the clock. LSU wins by 10. Mizzou may be unranked in the next couple minutes. I don't know. They did lose to a 2-loss SEC team, but LSU is favored by a lot of teams. They're still a 2-loss ranked team. So I don't know if they get unranked. I know LSU hops over them, but I don't know if they get unranked. Ty's so petty. Shout out again to Ty for another $1.99 donation. Ty, you could have just put this all on $1.99 donation, but I appreciate it. He says, do you think Miami can beat Penn State? Hashtag Miami is trash. Do I think if they played once, any given Saturday is always real, first of all. But I'm going to say 90% chance Penn State wins that game. Miami could win because Miami has better trenches than Colorado. Miami has athletes on the perimeter. Miami has a dog safety. Drew Allah is still, we don't know. Like he has moments, but is he really good? Is he not? He's still young. I think Penn State wins the game, but Miami has a chance. I do think Miami has a chance. I won't sit here and say Miami has no shot. I know you donated to be petty, but I won't lie. I don't think Penn State runs through Miami. I think the game will be close throughout. Now, Penn State can pull away from Miami late. I will say that. But I don't think Miami has no shot. But again, I appreciate the donation. For real. But what I also will say is y'all could get to TVD and make them turn the ball over. Y'all do have the guys to do that with Chop, Abdul Carter. Y'all can Kalen King, Kobe King at linebacker. Y'all got guys on that defense to give Miami fits. So, but with that being said, LSU, Malik Neighbors and Luther Burden, they both lived up to the hype. They both lived up to the bill. Malik Neighbors had 6 catches, 146, and 2 touchdowns. Luther Burden had 11 catches for 149 yards. But LSU run game was just the factor, was the deciding factor. LSU run game, 15 for 130 and a touchdown for Jaden Daniels. Logan Diggs had 24 for 134 and a touchdown. Cody Schrader had a monster game too, 13 carries for 114 yards and 3 touchdowns. But it just wasn't enough in this shootout. Mizzou fought hard, but again, Brady Cook has thrown no picks through the first 5 games, threw 2 in this game. So those were costly. The pick 6 put the game out of reach. Moving on, we have a defensive slugfest again with Rutgers at Wisconsin. Final score 13-24. Wisconsin wins. I did have Wisconsin winning this game in a slugfest. Now, Wisconsin dominated this game. The score is actually a little bit of a fib. Rutgers scored a garbage touchdown late. But let's just get into it. Wisconsin starts the game with a 39-yard field goal set up by a defensive pass interference. With 14-15 left in the second quarter, Wisconsin misses a 53-yard field goal, which leads to a punt. Then Wisconsin fumbles a Braylon Allen run, which Rutgers recovers. Braylon Allen said, hey, don't worry about it. I got y'all back. Next drive, 18-yard touchdown run, making a bunch of Rutgers defenders miss. Then Rutgers, Gavin Wimsatt throws a pick 6 to Ricardo Holloman in the red zone for 95 yards. Just, Gavin, you can't do it. But I told you, Gavin Wimsatt has to show me he can win a game. And he is yet to do it. And he throws a timely pick 6 where you can cut it to 17-6. He throws a pick 6. No, it would have been 10-6. Excuse me, 10-7. Now it's 17-zip, 14-point swing. Both teams punt the second half. Then Wisconsin had the turnover on downs with 6:35 left in the third quarter. They ran the ball to Jackson Aker on 4th and 1, and he got stuffed, which leads to an Evan Simon 10-yard touchdown pass to Aaron Young. Now, Evan Simon was in the game because on 4th and 1, Gavin Wimsatt runs for like 3-4 yards and converts, but he gets popped on the sideline and he is hurt. So Evan Simon is in the game. While they look at Gavin Wimsatt, he tried to get up and he just fell right back down, man. It was a bad hit, but he was okay. He comes back in the game. So salute to him. Thank God it was nothing serious, nothing too bad. After Rutgers scored the touchdown, the point after is actually no good. So it's 17-6. But Wisconsin answers with a 3-yard touchdown pass to Tucker Ashcroft out the he leaks out the backside and wide open, has a step. I won't say he's wide open, but he has a step on his defender for a touchdown. Then Rutgers turnover on downs with 5:46 left in the game. On 4th and 2, Gavin Wimsatt passes incomplete, but it leads to a Wisconsin Hayden Rutsche first down catch and fumble, which Rutgers recovers. So Rutgers has new life, kind of. And that fumble leads to an 11-yard touchdown pass. Gavin Wimsatt is back in the game, throws it to Ian Strong. Now the score is 24-13. Rutgers tries an onside kick, unsuccessful, and Wisconsin runs out the last 4 minutes and 6 seconds, winning the game. Now, I knew to bet the under in this game, and I choked. I did not. The over-under was 43.5. The total points was 37. I knew Big Ten football, Wisconsin, Rutgers, two defenses. Bet the under. I was scared. I even seen the under 21.5 in the first half at plus money and was scared. And the score was 0-17 at halftime. I have to trust myself, but it's not a gambling show. But I knew this game was going to be a defensive slugfest. I knew Wisconsin had the better offense, the better running back, and they had the better dynamics on offense to allow to get the right game going. Cal Monangai was shut down. He had 8 carries for 16 yards, could get nothing going again. Gavin Wimsatt, he had 1 touchdown for Rutgers and had 1 touchdown for Wisconsin. Can't have it. Mordecai didn't have a crazy game either, but Braylon Allen had 21 carries for 101 yards and a touchdown, including a fumble loss. But the game, like I said, was just a defensive slugfest, and Wisconsin came out on top. Now for the afternoon slot, which, boy, that was something. First game to talk about is before I talk about where is Kenny? Last week on Wednesday, not even last week, this Wednesday, I had a guy, don't know him, Kenny. I hope you still watch the show. He came in the comments of the show and said Cam Ward is the best quarterback in the nation. And Cam Ward, I love him. I say I trust in Cam Ward. He said, hold my beer, and played terrible against UCLA. Final score, Washington State 13th ranked, Washington State 17, UCLA 25. Now Washington State gets the ball first and goes 3 and out. UCLA, Dante Moore throws a pick, just continuing from what he did Utah. Utah first game, he threw a pick 6. This game, he threw a pick to start. UCLA, but it leads to a 32-yard field goal by Washington State. So they go up 3-0. Then UCLA misses a 47-yard field goal after converting the 4th and 1. Leads to a Cam Johnson fumble in the red zone. Washington State was looking to go up 10-zip. Pass complete and then fumble. The Washington State fumble. Dog, Tom trying to catch the Steelers game, bro. Shout out to Ty again being petty. Do you think Georgia Tech could beat Penn State? Hashtag Miami is trash. Now, this one, I will say Georgia Tech has no shot. No shot to beat Penn State. Haynes King is going to turn the ball over in this game. The run game is not going to get going with Trey Cooley. I think Georgia Tech has no shot to win against Penn State. I appreciate the 199 again, but you petty. Ty, you are petty. I'm just glad you are a Ravens fan because you petty. All right, so Washington fumbles. Washington, hold on. I didn't lose my train of thought. Jesus. Washington fumble leads to a UCLA punt. That's hilarious, Joe. All right, so UCLA punts after the fumble, and then Washington State's Carlos Hernandez fumbles for Washington State, which leads to a UCLA recovery. Which then leads to an 11-yard touchdown pass to Logan Lawyer, but the point after is no good. And with 5:05 left in the second quarter, Cam Ward throws his first interception of the year and of the game, which leads to a 37-yard field goal by UCLA to go up 9-3. UCLA, Dante Moore throws a pick 6 right before the half. Now, this play was crazy. The defender was blitzing off the edge. He has a shot at Dante Moore. Dante Moore tries to throw it. He just jumps up and catches it right at his face. He's right there. He jumps up, catches it, and it's gone for the pick 6 to go up 10-9 at the half. By the way, I did call my shot for Washington State to win this game. Now, this is an upset in the books, not in the books, in the rankings, but not in the books. Washington State was 3.5-point underdog, but obviously ranked 13th, and UCLA is unranked. So this was an upset for both the rankings, but not the books. Excuse me. So Washington State goes up 10-9 at half. Then both UCLA and Washington trade 2 punts apiece to start the second half. UCLA starts scoring in the second half with a 32-yard field goal, and then Washington State answers with a 9-yard touchdown pass to Nakia Watson, the running back. And then UCLA has a 33-yard field goal, gets blocked. Again, the defender just knifes through and blocks it. UCLA forces Washington State to punt right after. And after the punt, they go down the field. And on 4th and 6, they convert a pass. Dante Moore had all day. He finds a guy open, a yard short, but he has the running room to get the first down. And that leads to a Keegan Jones 13-yard run. Now, on this play, it was like 2 backs in the backfield, just like a little a lead inside zone or lead outside zone, whatever you want to call it. Broke through the defense wide open, and nobody caught him. Now, keep that in mind, because after Washington State, Cam Ward throws his second interception of the day. UCLA comes back to that same play with the same player, Keegan Jones, and scores a 22-yard touchdown run with the same play to go up 25-17. Now, with 1:38 left, Washington State on 4th and 1. This was before this play, I said Washington State is going to either run the ball and get stuffed, or the pass is going to be incomplete. And sure enough, they run quarterback power on 4th and 1, game on the line, no timeouts, and it gets stuffed. UCLA gets the ball, nails it out, and the game is over. Cam Ward played absolutely terrible, so not a great showing after Kenny, which I hope you're here or hope you peep through. I don't expect you to be in the comments because that's what people do. They say something, then when something goes against them, they run and hide. But played terrible. 2 interceptions. Cam Ward, are you still going to say he's the best quarterback in the nation? I doubt it. UCLA got a huge momentum shift. After that 4th and 6, you could just see, like, that was the momentum they needed. They was already moving the ball better. They already had, like, double the yards of offense than Washington State had. But it was just that breakthrough that showed that, hey, we could score on these guys, because Washington State's defense was making timely plays. But that, like I said, that 4th and 6 was the momentum changer they needed. And UCLA defense was suffocating. Cam Ward couldn't do nothing when he wasn't throwing picks. When he did have time, people wasn't open, or people were just in the backfield. But it was one play in particular I remember. Cam Ward, he's rolling right, 2 guys into his right, so he rolls back left, and he just steps and rolls right back to the right. I'm like, what are you doing? You just rolled back into where they at. So Cam Ward was just flustered this game. Great game plan by UCLA. Now, this next one, another great game. Alabama pulled it out. Alabama, 11th ranked Alabama wins at Texas A&M on the road, 26-20. Shout out to Jalen Milroe. I won't say you played a great game, but you did play a good one. I don't think people will give you credit for the game you did play. Texas A&M gets the ball first. Turnover on downs, 4th and 1 at Bama 19. Max Johnson throws incomplete. Alabama first drive goes 3 and out. Texas A&M gets a 22-yard field goal set up by Evan Stewart. 32-yard catch. I keep telling y'all, man, Evan Stewart is the guy early game to get you in rhythm. Alabama answers with a 39-yard field goal set up by 45-yard Jermaine Burton catch. Jermaine Burton's actually have a really good year this year. I know a lot of people call him a flop at Georgia. I may have called him that myself because I really do believe that. Then last year he didn't really do much, but this year he's having a better year in my opinion. He's catching on late. He's having a better year. Then Alabama gets a 52-yard touchdown pass to Isaiah Bond, who made timely catches in this game. 9:57 left in the second quarter. Texas A&M scores 22-yard touchdown pass to Jake Johnson. So the brother connection again. So that was cool. Set up by a 46-yard punt return by Anaya Smith. Anaya Smith does it again. Has a punt return against Arkansas late in the game, third quarter. Then again, second quarter sets up a touchdown with a beautiful punt return of his own again. So Anaya Smith in the return game, just dangerous, just special. Texas A&M scores a 1-yard touchdown run by Le'Veon Moss. Alabama started second half, drives down the field, but Milroe throws a pick, a bad pick. But it's erased because Max Johnson throws another pick. Now, this one was just a good play by the D-back. He jumped, made a great play. After that interception, it leads to a 15-yard touchdown pass to Jermaine Burton, who ties the game. Alabama gets another touchdown pass to Jermaine Burton right after, 19-yard touchdown pass. Then Alabama's Jermaine Burton on a first down tries to do too much, gets stripped. Texas A&M recovers, but it leads to a 51-yard field goal, which gets blocked for a touchdown. But Dallas Turner gets a unnecessary block in the back, blocking a guy nowhere near the play for no reason, negates a touchdown, huge momentum builder. Alabama has to settle for a punt, so they get nothing. They punt, but then off the punt, Alabama sacks Max Johnson back-to-back times to get a safety to go up 9. With that, Alabama punts. Texas A&M gets a 20-yard field goal. Alabama then, after the field goal, gets the onside kick and is able to run out the rest of the game to hold on to win on the road. All right, Ty, you kind of giving away a lot because that's for the next episode, Ty. So I appreciate the dono. 199 dono. You said who you got, UNC or Miami, and the score hashtag Miami is trash. This is what I'll do. I don't normally give scores, but my preview episodes, I give winners who I think is going to win. So to not give that away, I'll give a score of 35-31, winner coming Wednesday. And for you, since you donated, I'll just text you in the chat. But the winner's coming Wednesday, Winner's coming Wednesday. I'll go 35-31. So moving on. Oh, I'll talk about the game a little bit. So Alabama, Jalen Milroe, 3 touchdowns. 2 of them to Jermaine Burton, 1 Isaiah Bond. Jermaine Burton had a fumble, actually got sacked for a fumble, but was able to recover it. He had a bad pick. Overall, I don't think he had a bad game. He was using his legs when needed. He found guys when needed. He shook off the pick and shook off the fumble, bounced back, threw touchdowns. This is what you like to see. He's still young. He's still a freshman, and he was on the road in a tense SEC game. But I wouldn't say he had a bad game. He shook it off. He bounced back, and I like to see the resiliency from the young guy. Now, Max Johnson, he also didn't have a bad game. He's also a young guy. This is his second year. I think his first year. He didn't even start. He's still not a starter because Connor Wegman was starting. So he's still not a starter, even though he transferred out. Oh, no, I'm thinking of Walker Howard. This is not Max Johnson's second year. Excuse me. I was thinking of Walker Howard. But he's still a transferred out. So, oh, Lord. So, Max Johnson had a really good game. Anaya Smith is explosive. He's an animal. Jermaine Burton is catching on. Like I said, he's catching on. Alabama's defense, I don't want to say it's shaky. I think it's pretty good. It has its moments, but I mean, so does most defenses. But I think Alabama still has a chance to win out. That LSU game kind of scares me. They play Arkansas next. The LSU game kind of scares me with the high-powered offense, but LSU defense hasn't been playing well either, playing to the standard. But, I think Alabama has a chance to win out and meet Georgia in the SEC championship. So my next game, Syracuse at UNC. I am not going to go over this game in detail like that. I got key points I want to touch because Syracuse got blown out 40-7. North Carolina destroyed Syracuse 40-7. I don't got to explain that. Garrett Schrader could not get it going on the ground. I think he had 10 carries for 28 yards. Garrett Schrader had a pick with no touchdowns through the air or on the ground. Drake made 442 yards, 4 total touchdowns, 3 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground. Tez Walker in his first game, finally free, finally able to play for his North Carolina Tar Heels. His family gets to see him. He's finally unleashed from the shackles that is the NCAA with that BS ineligibility. 6 catches for 43 yards. Not too shabby for your first game. This is week 6. You have no game reps. You have no time with Drake May for real. So not mad. Total yards. Syracuse had 221 total yards. UNC had 644 total yards of offense. Almost tripled up Syracuse. UNC scored on 8 of 10 drives, 4 touchdowns, 4 field goals. One drive they didn't score on was wrong game. Excuse me. That was Kansas. 4 touchdowns, 4 field goals. Nate McCullum had 7 catches for 135 yards, and Kobe Pesau had 3 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown. UNC just annihilated Syracuse, dominated them on every facet of the game. I even think I said that North Carolina defense will show up in this game. I'm not for sure, but I'm pretty sure I said that. I know I picked North Carolina to win this game, and they dominated Syracuse. Moving on to another game, which I'm not going to go over in detail because it was a blowout. Now, what I will say is this. It's the UCF and Kansas game. I said if Jaden Daniels plays, I'm going with Kansas. If he doesn't, I'm going with UCF. But I had, after the show, maybe Friday, I thought to myself, Carl, you're tripping. Kansas is really good. You've been pounding the table about Kansas all year. They're a really good football team. UCF defense is suspect. By the way, shout out to Ty. Love it. I love it. We need these guys today against the Steelers. Kansas, better defense. UCF defense is suspect. Kansas honestly has a better offense. I think Kansas is a better overall team. You're tripping. So I even bet Kansas. And to show you I'm not lying, I will pull it up on FanDuel. So I was like, Carl, you're tripping. Kansas wins this game either way. I put the bet in. And they won 22-51. I'm trying to pull up the FanDuel to show y'all real quick. But here we go. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm having a hard time multitasking right now. Kansas money line, boom. So yeah, don't ignore those red X's, okay? Bad game, bad day. But yeah. So Jason Beam got to start, and John Rice Plumlee got to start for UCF. RJ Harvey had a monster game, 16 carries, 133 yards, and a touchdown. Kansas offense was rolling. Kansas scored on 7 of 9 drives, 6 touchdowns, 1 field goal. One of the drives they didn't score on was a missed 32-yard field goal, and the other one was just a punt. So really 8 great drives, just one wasn't finished, and 1 bad one. Also had Trevor Wilson had an 82-yard punt return touchdown, so they really had 7 tuds. One was a special teams one. UCF shot out in the first half, including a fumble. Then the second half, they scored on 3 touchdowns out of 4 drives, but it was well too late. And Kansas' run game was ridiculous. They had almost 3 guys go for 100 yards. They had Devin Neal go for 12 carries, 154 yards, and a touchdown. Daniel Hotshaw, 19 carries, 134 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Dylan McDuffie, 13 carries, 91 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So that's ridiculous through the ground. Kansas now is 5-1. Rank Kansas again, please. It probably won't happen, but hey, I'm for it. Now we go into our late night games. 20th ranked Kentucky gets slaughtered by the number 1 overall ranked Georgia Bulldogs, 13-51. Now I was so this game kind of goes in detail because I was already recapping it. The other 2 games I didn't do it because I missed doing because of work. So I'm not recapping it like that. So Kentucky, Georgia. I apologize for my words. I still mean them, by the way. But you showed me last week y'all had the capability of being the Georgia of the past 2 years. Y'all must have been hearing everybody say it. And y'all said, all right, let's shut them up real quick. Dominated. Scored almost every drive of the game. Georgia got the ball first, went right down the field, scored a 40-yard touchdown pass to Marcus Rosemary Jackson. Then Kentucky first drive. They get a move on, but a holding call ruins it, and they have to punt. Devin Leary actually missed a wide open guy. Devin Leary, man, don't get me started. Georgia then gets a 15-yard touchdown pass to Robert Thomas. Now, at this point, this was supposed to be Georgia's first incomplete pass, but they reviewed it. Robert made a great play, touchdown Georgia. Then Georgia gets a 5-yard touchdown pass to Oscar Delp. Kentucky again was able to move the ball, but a penalty killed that drive. Then Kentucky answers with his first touchdown, 4-yard touchdown pass to Josh Caddis. But then Georgia answers with a 36-yard field goal. Georgia scores a 5-yard touchdown run by Kendall Milton. Georgia scores a 42-yard field goal before the half. And it's just over. The game's over. Georgia scored on every drive of the first half. Kentucky was able to move the ball. Like I said, penalties killed them. Now, Kentucky goes 3 and out to start the second half. I'm like, yeah, this game's over. Georgia's Carson Beck throws a pick to start the second half, which leads to a 26-yard touchdown catch off a screen to Ray Davis. But they go for 2 and don't get it. And that was it for Kentucky. Kentucky scores no more. And Georgia, while they threw a pick, they was like, we can afford to give one up. Georgia then answers with a 32-yard field goal. Then scores a 21-yard touchdown to Brock Bowers. You knew he had to get in on the fun. Georgia then scores another 7-yard touchdown pass to Brock Vandagriff to Andrew Paul, which the backup was in the game with 2:38 left in the game. Like I said, Georgia, their offense was unstoppable. 9 drives out of 11. They scored 6 touchdowns, 3 field goals, 1 punt, 1 pick. Kentucky couldn't sustain drives. Georgia was 5 of 11 on third down, while Kentucky was 2 of 11 on third down. Devin Leary looked absolutely horrible, in my opinion. He's not it. I keep saying it every week. He's not it. Even in the win against Florida, he looked bad. He's just not it. All right, moving on. We have a better game. We have Arkansas at 16th ranked Ole Miss. I picked Ole Miss to win this game, and Arkansas did lose. They lost 20-27 at Ole Miss. Now, this game was a little bit more defensive than I thought. Ole Miss gets the ball first and goes 3 and out and punts. And then Arkansas first possession, Ty Washington gets in the end zone with a 3-yard touchdown pass after converting a 4th and 4 9-yard pass to Ty Washington. Then we have, Ole Miss answers with a 27-yard field goal, but then KJ Jefferson throws a pick, which leads to a 1-yard Quinshon Judkins touchdown run on 4th and goal. They was actually holding the door against Ole Miss. Ole Miss tried a quarterback sneak twice, didn't get it. But Ole Miss eventually got in. Arkansas starts the second half. I skipped a couple things. With 1:34 left in the second quarter, Dayton Wade catches a 6-yard touchdown pass. It was one of those where you hike the ball and it's like a jet motion, and the quarterback catches it and just pops it forward. They consider that a pass. It was one of those. Ole Miss set to punt, but Arkansas 12 men on the field, which leads to a missed 49-yard field goal before the half. Arkansas starts second half with a 56-yard field goal. The Ole Miss starts the second half with a turnover on downs. Jackson Dart is sacked on 4th and 5. I believe Arkansas sent the blitz off the offense's right side, defensive left side. Jackson Dart had no way to escape it. Leads to a 26-yard field goal by Arkansas. Arkansas scores a 17-yard touchdown pass to Ty Washington to take the lead. But then Ole Miss answers with a Ulysses Bentley 7-yard touchdown run after converting a 4th and 1 earlier in the drive. That drive was set up by the run game. Quinshon Judkins and Ulysses Bentley did their thing that whole drive. Led to Ole Miss taking the lead back. Then Ole Miss, late in the game, gets a 22-yard field goal. Now, Arkansas with a chance to tie the game, KJ Jefferson throws a pick on the game-time drive, and Ole Miss runs out the clock. Ole Miss escapes, wins the game, and Mississippi goes 5-0. Will move up the rankings for sure. Great game. Jackson Dart was still able to be dynamic. Ulysses Bentley, like I said, and Quinshon Judkins late was able to take the game over. Now, these Arkansas defenders was able to hold these Ole Miss receivers in check for a while. I don't think Ole Miss had such a great game through the air. Well, Ole Miss did enough to win, but it was vice versa too. Ole Miss did a great job holding these Arkansas receivers in check. For real, the only one that got off for it was Ty Washington with the 2 touchdowns. And even then, he didn't have some monster game. But like I said, the game was more defensive than I thought it would be. But Ole Miss was able to pull it out. Now we have Notre Dame, the upset, both in the rankings and in the books. I was so sure on Notre Dame -6.5. They lose at Louisville, 33-20. And let me say this, Louisville, I apologize. I am so sorry. I said that you guys are suspect. You haven't played anyone. I said this is the best. I said it 2 weeks straight now. This is the best defense you've played. Your offense won't look the same. I was right last week against NC State. NC State has no offense whatsoever. This week, y'all shut me up, man. I apologize to Louisville Nation, to the Louisville fans. This team is actually really good. They play up when they have to. They do have the capability of playing down, as in the Indiana, NC State game. Even in my opinion, the Georgia Tech game, they kind of played down the competition. But They got up for this one, and they came out, and that defense was on fire. Notre Dame gets the ball, and Hartman throws a pick off the break. First pick of the year. The interception leads to a 9-yard touchdown pass to Jamari Thrash, which you can't let him get going. Then with 6:58 left in the second quarter, like the game is straight defensive from there. 6:58 left in the second quarter, Notre Dame scores a 36-yard touchdown pass to Jordan Faison. Louisville then was offside on the Notre Dame 4th and 3, but then fumbles the ball trying to be cute on 3rd and 2, running some counter, just run downhill. The ball is fumbled. Louisville recovers, but it leads to a 3-and-out punt. Then Louisville misses a 42-yard field goal before the half, and then to start the half, Jack Plummer completes a 10-yard pass to Jamari Thrash, but fumbles the ball. Notre Dame recovers, but they do nothing with it and kick a 53-yard field goal. Louisville then answers with a 44-yard field goal, and this is where Louisville started to break the game open. Next time they touch the ball, Jawar Jordan, the home run hitter himself, 45-yard touchdown run by Jawar Jordan, just a home run hitter. Then Notre Dame answers with a 54-yard field goal, not good enough. Louisville, Jawar Jordan again, 21-yard touchdown run, 2 explosive runs. You got to limit those if you're playing against Louisville. Jawar Jordan is a home run guy. He's a big play machine. That's what NC State was able to do. Limit his big plays, and that's how they stayed in the game. Now they had Chris Bell for Louisville make big plays in that game, but it wasn't like to the effect of this one. They scored 13 against NC State. They scored 33 against Notre Dame. So that happens. And then Notre Dame has a turnover on downs, 4th and 11. Hey, he went off this game. He did go off this game. Notre Dame turnover on downs, 4th and 11. Hartman pass incomplete. Leads to a 45-yard Louisville field goal. Then Hartman throws another interception. Leads to a 32-yard field goal. Then Notre Dame, Hartman gets sacked and fumbled. Louisville recovers. Leads to a 35-yard field goal. Then Notre Dame scores a touchdown late in the game, 6-yard touchdown pass to Mitchell Evans. With 1:35 left, they recovered the onside kick, but Hartman throws his 3rd pick of the game, leading Louisville to end the game 33-20. Notre Dame, your playoff hope is shot. I think even if you went out and beat SC, which is highly unlikely in my opinion, you beat SC, you win out, I think your playoff hopes are over. You need too much to happen to make the playoffs. Now, Sam Hartman played a terrible game, but so did Notre Dame. Hold on. I know this is a college football show, but we do college basketball. And Peyton Pritchard, one of my favorite players of recent memory of college football. Basketball just got a 4-year, $30 million extension. Shout out my boy Peyton Pritchard. Let's go, Peyton. Get that money, my boy. I'm so excited for my guy. So, all right. So, moving on. This is going to stay up for a while. Moving on. So, Louisville. Home crowd was in it from the jump. Notre Dame could not take the home crowd out of it. That pick to start the game definitely amped up the home crowd. It was rocking. Jack Harlow, Donovan Mitchell in the building. Man, Louisville 6-0, already tied my win total. I had them at the preseason. Like I said, I apologize to Louisville Nation. Y'all can kill me, do whatever. Y'all are playing great football, for sure. Y'all are playing great ball, so can't really say much there. Moving on to our last game of the night. We had the Mountain West battle for first place. Well, Air Force still there, so let me calm down. Air Force, I think, is still in first place. Fresno State, 24th ranked Fresno State at Wyoming and Laramie. And Wyoming pulls off the upset both in the books and in the rankings, winning 24-19 at home. Fresno State gets the ball first, goes 3 and out, punts it. Wyoming, first possession, leads to a 34-yard field goal. Wyoming then scores a 14-yard touchdown pass to Wyatt Weiland. We'll keep that name in mind. Fresno State then answers with a 6-yard touchdown pass to Jalen Moss, set up by Jalen Moss, 50-yard catch. But then Wyatt Weiland will catch another touchdown pass, this one 4 yards out. Wyoming then scored the 12-yard Trenton Welch touchdown pass before the half, and that will be it for Wyoming. Wyoming punts to start the second half. Fresno State gets a 39-yard field goal to start the second half. With 8:31 left in the fourth quarter, Fresno State gets a 38-yard field goal, but Mikey King hurts his ankle on that drive. Logan Pfeiffer had to finish out the game. Fresno State kicks an onside kick. Hold on. Oh, I'm tripping. Fresno State thought I had some fraud on my FanDuel. Fresno State recovers an onside kick, which leads to a Logan Fife 8-yard touchdown pass to Magdalena. Wyoming misses a 47-yard field goal, giving Fresno State a chance. Giving Fresno State a chance late to win the game. But Logan Fife throws a pick, and Wyoming kneels the clock out. Now the pick, big man gets his paw in the air, bats the ball up, looks up, ball falls right in his lap. Game over. Fresno State loses. Pretty sure they'll be unranked in the next 8 minutes. Wyoming holds on, gets shut out in the second half, but holds on to win the game. And Wyoming now moves to 5-1. Fresno State drops to 5-1. Like I said, I think Air Force is still number one because they're undefeated. So, yeah, just great game by Wyoming. Great defensive game. Kept Mikey King and these receivers in check throughout the game. The running game was on fire. Andrew Peasley was able to use his legs. So was and I got his name confused with Wyland Wyatt for some reason. I don't know why. So give me 1 second. But the running game was just, this is what Wyoming wants to do. They want to run to set up the pass. They wanted to run to set up the pass, and they did it to a T. Did it perfectly last night against Fresno State. Fresno State, like I said, was able to shut them out in the second half. Just not enough. Logan Fife with the game-losing pick. Man, I wanted Fresno State to win this game. I still kind of think Fresno State has a chance to win the Mountain West. That Air Force game is going to be key, but Air Force loves to run the ball. They're not setting up the pass with the run. They're just going to run it down your throat. Harrison Wiley, there we go. Harrison Wiley, 22 yards, 83. You might say, Carl, that's not incredible, but they were still able to establish it. Peasley was 4 for 25, but he was able to do what he do when it was called upon. Like I said, man, Wyoming just had a good game. Now, this would be the last segment, but this is the last segment. My last segment of the show, we got to get into major performances. Major performances. This might not sound like one, but for a tight end, it is one. Sean Brown of Jacksonville State. Got to show Jack State some love. One of my I don't know, I guess my underdog stories of the year. 5-1. Sean Brown had 5 catches for 103 yards and a tud. Tight end, Jacksonville State, excuse me. Elijah Metcalf and a loss for Middle Tennessee State had 4 catches, 115 yards, and 2 tuds. CJ Daniels, 5 catches, 157 yards, and a touchdown for Liberty. Dylan Gabriel, 23 for 38, 285 yards, a touchdown on the air, 14 carries, 113 yards, and a touchdown on the ground. Marvin Harrison Jr., 8 catches, 163 yards, and a touchdown. Logan Diggs, 24 carries, 134 yards, and a touchdown. Malik Neighbors, 6 catches, 146 yards, and a touchdown. Trey Benson, 11 carries, 200 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Florida State on the ground. Drake May, 33 for 47, 442 yards, 3 touchdowns, 14 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown on the ground. Carson Beck, 28 of 35, 384 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a pick. And then Jawar Jordan, 21 carries, 143 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Those are this week's major performances. I had an extra one this week because Jawar Jordan went crazy against this Notre Dame defense. But that's all I have for y'all today. Upset pack. Oh, I do have to touch on this. So, Ty is going hard at Miami because Penn State was in a close one with Northwestern. Now, the U just fumbled literally and figuratively against Georgia Tech. 17th ranked Miami struggled throughout the game, should have won the game. 3rd down, under 40 seconds. They run an actual run play. The running back fumbles the ball. Georgia Tech goes 70-plus yards to win the game. Haynes King throws a game-winning touchdown, 44 yards to, Christian Leary. walk-off touchdown run. With Mario Cristobal, all you had to do was take a knee. Georgia Tech, no timeouts. Take the knee. That's it. That would have been the last play of the game. It would have been 4th down. They have no chance of stopping the clock. The game would be over. What are you doing? This is shades back to 2018 against Stanford. All you have to do is take the knee. You fumble. You lose the game. What are you doing as a former football player, now head coach? What even the player on camera said, what the expletive are we doing? What are you doing? Can't believe it. I also have to touch on this one. Arizona, while they did lose, took USC, Caleb Williams, to 3 overtimes. Final score 43 USC, Arizona 41. Barn burner of a game. If you took Arizona plus 21.5, you had no worries throughout it. Arizona jumped out to a 17-0 lead. SC eventually took the lead, but Jacob Cowan had a game. So did Trent McMillan. Brendan Rice actually did not find the end zone. Shocker there. This Arizona quarterback, Noah Fifta, 5 touchdown passes, 303 yards. So Adams had a major performances, major games is in a loss. Arizona now 3-3, but SC has been on the fringes of losing for the past 2 weeks. Next week, I believe they play Notre Dame, so they have to figure this out and fast. Last game I wanted to touch on, Colorado escaped out of Tempe, winning the game 27-24. Arizona State ties it up late, but Shedeur Sanders throws a 42-yard pass to Antonio, forgot his last name. Javon Antonio. So his last name is Antonio. To Javon Antonio, sets up the game-winning field goal, shows off after the game. And a lot of people are pissing me off with this, oh, well, you beat a 1-5 team. Congrats. Oh, y'all didn't even have this team winning more than one game. Y'all had, first of all, shout out to everybody that listened to me that took the over 3.5 at plus money. It cashed last night. 4-2 Buffs. Let's go. Second of all, y'all are mad now because what y'all had said in the early of the season is not fitting y'all narrative. This team is 4-2, 2 games above 500. So now y'all trying to find different ways to tear this team down. It's not going to work. They're having fun. They're winning games. I'm talking to you, Danny Kanell. Danny Kanell, you just literally went on the Miami team. Oh, Lav will like this if your team knows how to take a knee. But yeah, you want to tear down Shedeur Sanders because he had fun with the student section after winning a game because they're 1-5. Florida State narrowly escaped Boston College. I bet you was happy as a mug that they won. Bet you would have celebrated. So I don't want to hear it. Stop hating. But that's all I have for y'all today. I have 1 minute left to get ready for the Steelers-Ravens game. Go Ravens. We need this win to solidify our place on top of the division. But with that being said, enjoy this NFL Sunday. And I will see y'all on Monday. Like I said, new show schedule. Monday will be the preview for Tuesday and Wednesday games. And then Wednesday, I will preview the rest and recap Tuesday's game. So I might actually do Monday and Thursday because that's too much. I might end up doing Monday and Thursday. But we do have a new schedule. I will let you know tomorrow for sure. And we are out of here. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.